Hi, lovely friends. Welcome back to Mornings with Nana. I hope you all had a chance to go ahead and hit that little button and subscribe to us and keep updated with everything that we're doing. Today, I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to make sauerkraut at home. This is really a cool, easy thing to do. It's not hard, but if you've never done it before, I can see how it might be kind of intimidating because it sounds a little bit more fancy than what we normally cook every day. But sauerkraut in the store is really expensive, and I grew these at home with Tech Guy. Hopefully you had a chance to look at my other video on how to chop up a garden cabbage. Now I left one out here. We're kind of proud of this one. Look how big that baby is. This thing cost me less than $1 to grow, but if you went to the store and you bought it, well, there goes your week's worth of working and your whole entire salary. So we're going to do things here on Mornings with Nana on the cheap, but the elegant side of life. So pay attention. You're going to be so proud of yourself. You're going to be giving this as a gift to all your friends and family. So go ahead and get yourself your favorite knife. Now, those of you who've been watching me, no, I've had this knife for 40 years. It's my favorite knife. But you can use any knife that you like. Just make sure it has a nice long blade and that this edge is flat. I find that works better for slicing as opposed to cutting up things like meat that's more dense. So what you're going to do, I've taken off the outside leaves like this. Remember, don't you dare throw those out. That's still good food. And this right here is the core. That's the stem of your cabbage. So we're just going to act like we know what we're doing. And we're going to chop this baby right in half. Now that core is a little bit tough. So we don't want that in our cabbage. We don't want it in our sauerkraut. We don't even want it in our life. Now look. See how that kind of comes up in the middle here and right here? That's what the inside of that core looks like in the head of the cabbage. And I'm going to teach you how to remove it. Just make yourself a V-cut. Now look, this is your kitchen. It's your rules. So don't worry about how it looks. There, I took the core out of that half of it. And then you do it on the other side until you get all that tougher, hard piece of cabbage out. Now, for you hardcore rebel gardeners, see this core? See how it has a piece of stem here? If you wanted to, you could take yourself a little dish of water and set that in there, just like so. Put it on your windowsill in the kitchen, and after a week or so, this is going to start roots. And then you can grow yourself another head of cabbage, and I don't hear anyone telling you how much that costs because it's my favorite price, and that's free. Little tip there. All right, now, say we got our cabbage cut up like this. We're going to slice it in to thin little ribbons of sauerkraut. I went ahead and I put this together just to get you started. So I've got a bowl here. Now some people measure all this out, they weigh it out, I don't, you know me, I don't measure nothing, I just cook. So what my goal is to make enough of this sliced up cabbage to fill a couple mason jars. And so I don't know how much that's going to hold. You don't either. So we're going to slice up, pack it in there, and if we have any leftovers, shoot, make coleslaw out of it. So what you want to do is get your cabbage and slice it thin. Let me move this so you can see this. Okay? Slice it thin, like ribbons. Go all the way down. What we're not going to do is chop it. Never chop this up. When I say chop it, I mean go this way across, because then you'll get, watch, I'll take a little piece like this. If you do that, you're going to get that little stuff, which you might like. If you're going to put this someday, into a relish for hot dogs or something, you might want something smaller that would fit on your bun. But for my purposes, I like those long, thin ribbons for sauerkraut. So we're just going to slice all this up, and it doesn't have to be pretty. This is going to ferment in your jars. This is a non-canning recipe because there's a lot of really strong nutritional benefits and leaving the natural bacteria going in this so that it ferments. It's really a healthy thing for you. So here, I've got this part pretty well chopped up. Now, when you're doing this, you don't worry about uniformity because you're chopping up a round cabbage. So it's going to turn out just fine no matter which way you chop this thing. As it ferments in these jars here, it'll squish down, change shape. You know how sauerkraut looks. So really you need very little as far as equipment is concerned for making your own sauerkraut. I have mason jars because I'm a canner. I can everything. But sometimes, since I'm not canning this, I would like to save this mason jar for other purposes, like, oh, maybe I'm going to can applesauce or tomatoes. I need a mason jar because it takes high temperatures in my canner. But that allows me to use, a spaghetti jar that you get sauce from at the store, because you're not going to can in that, but it's perfect for using for sauerkraut or other dry storage, so you could use those as well. So just get yourself a bunch of this. It doesn't have to be pretty. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact. Here's the thing. We got a big old bowl of this stuff. How does this turn into sauerkraut? Well, what we're going to do is something very simple. I've got some, this is pickling and canning salt. There's nothing really magical about this. Sometimes I like to spoil myself and just get something extra special nice. But you can use regular salt as long as it doesn't have any iodine added to it. Iodine is not going to help out this fermentation, which is exactly what we're looking at. So just get regular salt without iodine, or, you know, like I did. I saw this on sale and I thought, oh, doggone, I'm going to get some of that. Now, there's no exact measurement here. I don't know how much this is. So I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of this pickling salt. Okay. And just dump it in there. Now here's where cleanliness really counts. You're going to, the best way to do this is to use your hands. God gave us good hands, use them. If you use a fork to toss this, or a spoon, I've never really found a way to make this coat the cabbage as well as this needs to be coated. So get in here, have some fun. Think about the neighbor's dog that got into your garden last night and toss this whole thing up. Whoops, lost some. This is why it's good to have a clean table when you're working. So I hope you're enjoying this so far. I don't know how many of you have ever tried to make sauerkraut, but as I mix this up, this would be a good time for you to go ahead and hit that little button on the right side of the video that says subscribe. Just hit that, click it. It'll keep you updated on all the wonderful things we're doing here in Mornings with Nana, crafting in my kitchen and making all kinds of wonderful things. So this is really a 2-part step recipe, and what we're doing is the first part of it right now, and that's getting your coleslaw prepared. And as I'm working on this, I'm going to hold this up. See how it's getting more shiny? It's a little bit wetter. That salt that I just put in here is bringing out that nice cabbage juice, and it's getting this whole thing wet. We want to get this mixed in. I can feel some of the grains of salt still in here, and I just want to have it thoroughly mixed and tossed. And I think we're about right there. So I'm going to press it down just a little bit and condense it into this bowl. And, oh, I can feel that nice salt on here. And I'm going to let this set for about an hour. And then I'm going to come back and check on it. Now, the next video I do is the part 2. But But if you don't subscribe to it, you might miss it and not know what to do with this great big old bowl of sauerkraut you've started. So please do so. And remember, the first 50 people that comment on my video today, I'm going to write you back. Just the first 50, so you're my special friends. And let me know what you're doing with your sauerkraut and how it's turning out for you so far. How far you got with that head of cabbage I had you start. Okay, see you soon, friends. Love you. Remember, Nana loves you. Bye.